I look forward to working with the Senate in the next stage of this process.
Solicitor General Elena Kagan may be President Barack Obama's pick for the Supreme Court.
Her fair-mindedness and skill as a consensus builder. These traits were particularly evident during her tenure as dean.
But not everyone is convinced that she's the woman for the job. The nominee for Associate Supreme Court Justice is considered a pragmatist, defending issues such as same-sex equality, removing military recruiters from college campuses, but being tough on national security. She also supports holding terror suspects without trial, indefinitely in some cases, and that has some critics concerned.
What better thing than to appoint somebody who would grant you broad executive powers? I mean, as far as strategically speaking goes, I don't see how one can blame the president yet again. From one who cares about civil liberties, well, it makes her case a bit more complicated.
This, however, isn't new. Both President Obama and former President George W. Bush have backed holding some suspected terror combatants without trial. In the case of Guantanamo Bay detainees, the Obama administration has said they could hold prisoners without trial in some cases because the evidence against them has been tainted by suspects' harsh treatment at the hands of their U.S. jailers and would be inadmissible in a trial. To some, it seems like backwards logic.
There's many justices who hold that view, and there's lots of people in the academy who do as well. I mean, she's not an outlier in that regard. The question becomes, should a Democratic president be appointing somebody who holds such views, right? That's the way I come out here.
Kagan's comments on indefinite detention come as U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder said that even U.S. citizens don't need to be read their rights if they're suspected of being involved in terrorism. President Obama says Kagan would be a guiding force and a consistent voice of reason on the court in such cases.
Powerful interests must not be allowed to drown out the voices of ordinary citizens. And I think it says a great deal about the path that Elena has chosen.
For some, Kagan is the status quo nominee, the obvious choice to replace Justice John Paul Stevens. Others wonder if she'll push the boundaries of executive power, something she'll need to answer to during her confirmation hearings. Colin Campbell, the White House.